thing that wanted to kill him, that wanted to trap him. Be careful what you are attracted to. Be careful what you like. Because there's too many powerful men of God that keep falling because of women. Change your mentality. If you know you battle with such as a brother, don't just make it your business always be hanging around women and always up in women's face. You know you battle that, bro. Stay out of folk faith till you get strong. Come on, come on, come on. And I know Judges 16 is about Delilah enticing Samson. But there are women just as bad. The one thing keep them out of God's will is a man. Why y'all didn't clap then, women? I said it is a man, and there are certain women that can't be happy without a man. Half a man, quarter of a man. And so the enemy know you want to get out the will of God. Send a man to entice her. Send her a man, she'll get out the choir. Send her a man, she'll step down as being a minister. And of course it has to be the right thing. Because notice enticing has to do with to tempt by offering what? Pleasure. There's some things don't bring us pleasure. There's some things don't get our attention. But tell your neighbor, sometimes the enemy knows what'll bring you pleasure. And when he gets ready to tempt you, he comes right. Come on. Let's look at it again. After it happened that he loved the woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah, and the lords of the Philistines came up to her and said, notice they approached Delilah. She must have had a reputation for doing this. I said she must have had a reputation for doing this. I said she must have had a reputation, watch, for not just doing it, but being effective. There are some women in here, you can get any man's attention that you really want. How, Pastor? I ain't talking about you. Some women, they can be around a man of 5 minutes and they know what he like as far as hair, clothing, perfume, especially a whorish woman. See, because that's her business, is getting men. See, if I'm going to entice him, what I need to work on with him is knowing that he married, but his wife is bossy and always trying to. So when I approach him, I'm going to let him know that I care about what he thinks. I'm going to let him know that, hey, look, I see this, and this in you, and I'm willing to follow you. And see, when he look at home, see, this may be too, I told you it's going to be a little. See, they went up to get her. And they said, look, we got a job for you. You done been hearing about what Samson been doing. We can't handle it. Think about this. Hundreds of men couldn't defeat him. He throw them around like little boys, like you playing. Hundreds of men. He just slanging them and throwing them. Picked up the jawbone of a donkey and used it better than a man could use a sword. But they said 100 men can't defeat him. But what can a pretty woman do? Let's go get Delilah. And see, they made it plain. Look at this. And the Lord of the Philistines came up to her and said to her, entice him. Find out where his great strength lies. And by what means, notice what they want to do. We can overpower him. You're going to find the key for us to overpowering him. Yeah, he a man that want to do right, but you going to find out a way to overpower that do right spirit he got for this month. That we may bind him. Look, now we want to bind him up so we can afflict him. And every one of us going to give you 1,100 pieces. We're going to make it worth your time. And see, because Samson fell for it, you know the story. They did bind him. And they cut his hair and they put out his eyes. See, when you let the wrong thing entice you, it will put out your eyes. It will kill your vision. And without a vision, the people perish, or you won't know your purpose. But that's the reason Paul, in writing to the church at Rome, again tells them, do not be conformed to this world, but be what? Transformed. Change your mentality. Change your way of thinking. Get out of your mind things that don't need to be in your mind and replace it with God's word or God's will. Come on, so that you can prove what is the good, the acceptable, and perfect will of God is. Listen to me. When it comes to many of us, we need to change our mentality when it comes to living by faith. Change your mentality. Romans 10:17 tells us faith comes by hearing, hearing by the what? By the word. So when I hear the word and apply the word, that means I'm living by faith. Change your mentality when it comes to what you live by. That's the reason James said in James 1:22, be not a hearer only, but be a doer of the what? Of the word. Some of us got to change our mentality. You come to church and get too much good word that you don't do. And some things don't change until we change. Change your mentality about just hearing the word only. Change your mentality. Start applying the word. Acknowledge God. Woo! Because sometimes when you acknowledge God, he'll let you know, look, you the problem. It ain't a better job. It ain't more money. You're the problem. And when God reveals to you that, hey, you're the problem, you know what you got to do? You know what you got to do? What you got to do? When God said to you, look, if you get out of my way, I'll make you a millionaire. If you get out of my way, I'll cancel your debt. If you get out of my way, I'll send you your spouse. Then you need to change your what? Mentality. There's nothing that God ordained for us to chase but him. And whenever you chase God, you'll find that there are things that come with God. But you got to change your mentality. The only thing I chase is God. Because I found out in chasing God, he got everything else that I need. But see, some of you, you don't change your mind. You chasing something other than God. And that's where you're not happy.